So my name's Fred. I'm the Exhibitions and Interpretation Manager for Chester Zoo. So we're a conservation and education charity. We've been around for about 90 years now. So we're a zoo first and foremost, but we do conservation around the world. And we also do conservation education around the world, as well as with local audiences. So on a good year, we'll have around 2 million visitors a year who come in to see our collection, and that's paid visitors through the gates. We have, I think, over 100,000 members now. And like I say, we do conservation around the world. So we have lots of dedicated field staff who go out and work with partners in different countries for some of our focus species and work on projects out there. So our main goal ultimately is preventing extinction. So it's all about preventing biodiversity loss across the world. And obviously we're a zoo, and that's how we get our money, and that's how we achieve our mission. So I know a little bit about the fabric maze, and I know a little bit about the elephant. Now, the elephant actually predates me. So it's a big, an amazing patchwork elephant that's been in our retail shop at the front of the zoo for many years now. And it was actually made by one of our retail partners quite a long time ago to promote some of our sustainable lines and smaller retail lines in the zoo. But what's interesting about it is it's actually been made from recycled saris, so the sort of fabric traditionally worn in India, Pakistan, Nepal, areas like that. So it's all old saris that were no longer needed or wanted, and has been they've been stripped down and reused in this fabric elephant. So it's been a focal point of our retail shop, for quite a number of years now. And it's going to be really amazing to see it at the center of a sustainability campaign, because it kind of embodies what sustainability is about, particularly thinking about sustainable fashion. And actually, once we're done with our clothes, what can we then do with them? And why not make a giant patchwork elephant? It's a fantastic piece of artwork. The fabric maze is going to be hopefully a bit of an inspiration to the public about what you can do with other fabrics. So it's been made or remade from old stage and exhibition curtains that were no longer needed. So we'll hopefully form a really nice sort of intricate maze for visitors to sort of navigate around. And then the centerpiece will be the patchwork elephant. So quite exciting for visitors sort of to explore that theme, particularly through physical immersion through fabric, and all fabric that's been reused as well. Difficult one. So over the last few months, I've been doing an awful lot of research on sustainability. And I always thought I was fairly good at being sustainable and minimizing waste. The more I've researched it, the more I found that there's lots of rabbit holes that you can go down, and you can go to the nth degree. But I think also being sustainable is about what everybody can do in their own lives practically. So for me, and actually this is a consequence of having been at the zoo now for quite a long time, I've completely switched to a plant-based diet. So sustainability also comes down to, if we're thinking about waste, actually it's about wasted resources, land being one of the biggest wasted resources that there is out there. So plant-based diets is, for me, one of the best ways to be sustainable long term. But it also means things like when I'm out shopping and buying clothes that are really going to last for a long time. And then when I'm done with them, not just throwing them in the bin, but actually recycling them responsibly and getting them broken down into their base materials so that they can go and be reused for something else. And also just being sort of more aware of the products that I'm buying and making sure that maybe they're not just made from plastics in every instance, but is there a different type of product that I can buy? Let's say toothbrushes, for example, not just buying a plastic toothbrush, but actually buying one made from bamboo entirely. So I've kind of switched all my own sort of personal products in my house to be more sustainable materials. And I think it's just to understand that no matter what we do, we are humans, we do consume, unfortunately, but it's consuming in the most ethical, sustainable way. And just having that sort of in mind whenever you're purchasing things. Quite a few things. First and foremost, so we have to remember that the people coming to this exhibition at the zoo, they are paying public, who a lot of them come to the zoo just for a fun day out, and their main driver isn't necessarily to engage with a sustainable campaign or a sustainable event. But that gives us the opportunity to create this event that's really exciting, really interesting, really engaging, and actually we can engage them with content that they may not have otherwise experienced. So I think if we can provide our visitors with sort of the headline messages of what being sustainable means, and give them a couple of sort of core ways that they can achieve sustainability in their own lives, that doesn't feel like they're being overwhelmed, it doesn't feel like it's unachievable, and just kind of getting everybody on that same sort of level where they can think, right, I can be sustainable. And it's those first small actions that I think visitors could do, and to understand that, we've helped them empower them to do those actions. So for an example might be that actually some of the statistics that we've got in the campaign are quite hard hitting in terms of water usage. So for people to understand that actually maybe a quick shower rather than a really deep hot bath is probably better if you only need a quick wash, saves a massive amount of water. Or for them to think more closely about the food that they're potentially wasting. In the UK, we waste a third of all our food, domestic food. So a third of all the food in your fridge and cupboards will probably go to waste. And so just if we can get people to think about the consequences of maybe buying too much at the supermarket, and just being more conscious of actually what they're consuming, I think that if we can achieve that overarching message of just getting people to think about it will be, and in a fun, engaging way, will be absolutely amazing if we can get visitors to do that. That's probably the main one thing, yeah.